Hey guys, I'm Bimzy, and I made a game in 72 hours. I teamed up with my friend Alex because we wanted to challenge ourselves to make the best game we could within 3 days, and this is what we came up with. The game ended up being a simple platforming game where the only thing you need to do is collect all of the keys and get to the door at the end of the level. We wanted to add some puzzling to the game, so we added dimensions where you can hit spacebar to change the current dimension you're in, revealing new obstacles and keys to collect. The final game ended up being a good mix between Schrodinger's cat, Super Meat Boy, and Portal, and I'm quite happy with the end results. So if you're enjoying the content and would like to keep up to date with my latest videos, please hit that subscribe button down below as it goes a long way to helping out the channel. We're about to start day 1 of our game jam. Wave to the camera. Before building our game, we put together a simple game design document which detailed all of the key features we wanted to see in the final version of our game. It also included some of our inspirations such as Super Meat Boy and Portal. We then planned out the next 3 days of our game jam to make sure that we could finish on time with a complete game. With all of the planning out of the way, we could start making our game. I started out by putting the basic scene together and working on some of the masking elements that our game was going to be focused on. I had planned to have all of the basic mechanics done on the first day so I could spend the entire second day creating and designing levels. Alex had hoped to have most of the proxy assets and environmental assets done on the first day so that on the second day he could get to work on VFX and the character. After having worked for about 11 or 12 hours, day 1 was finally over and our prototype was ready to play. The implementation was missing a lot of the artwork Alex had worked hard on to create, and I was a little bit behind schedule, so I needed to work hard the next day to account for lost time. So we've just made our coffees and we're about to start the second day of our game jam. Starting day 2, the first thing I did was get all of the artwork Alex had done the previous day into our game. We ended up using Unity Collaborate to pass the artwork back and forth. Although we still had a lot of work ahead of us, we decided we needed to start getting some levels designed and done. So we set a deadline for ourselves where we would drop everything and start making levels if it hit 5 o'clock. I ended up finishing all of the core mechanics of our game, so I was able to start creating some cool obstacles to help us make better levels. Alex had finished a lot of the artwork of the environment at this point and could start getting onto some VFX to make the levels look cool. It hit 5 o'clock and we were still creating new content. We decided we'd push the deadline a few hours because we wanted to make sure that we had all of the tools available for us to create cool levels. It was getting later and later, and it was about 9 o'clock before we started actually making levels. I think the last few hours of the night, we just rushed to get as many basic levels done as possible. I think we finished about 5 out of the 10 levels we needed. With day 2 wrapping up, our game was starting to actually look like a game, except for the fact that we were still missing our main character, the cat. So we're about to start our third and final day in our 72-hour challenge. Day 3.
Yeah.
I started out day 3 by making some background music for our game. I used some software called Boscacil or Coil. I'm not too sure to be honest, but the link will be in the description down below if you want to try it out for yourself. Even though I have no experience making music, I was able to create a cool soundtrack that I think fits our game pretty well. Once that was done, Alex and I decided to have a mini meeting to plan out the rest of our last day. The clock was counting down, and we still had to create menus, sounds, more particles, levels, a saving system, and a hardcore mode. Oh, and I almost forgot, we still don't have a character in our game, so we need to add that too. We wanted to have a fully animated character controller, but because we were running out of time, we decided to go with a ragdoll system instead. So it's been a long few days, but we're getting to the final few hours of our game jam. We've just got a few last minute things to wrap up before our game's completely finished. Let's hope we can make it in time. as Alex was finishing the last few visuals of our game by adding some post-processing and some last-minute particle effects to the obstacles, I decided I needed to get the sound effects done to complete most of the major tasks left in our game. So I grabbed my cat and we spent the next few hours in the recording booth creating sounds for the character controller. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that. I went to the website freesounds.org to get some cat meow audio clips. The link will be in the description down below. After finishing up the remaining tasks and level designs, it was already 12 a.m. The game jam was pretty much over, so we decided to build our game and get it ready to submit to itch.io. The only problem was, after having built the game for the first time, we realized that the game was completely broken on the built version. To our surprise, we'd fixed most of the issues in about 1 or 2 hours. At this point, we were happy with our game and we're ready to go to bed. So it's 2 a.m. and we've just finished our game jam. It's been a long 3 days of hard work. Alex is just finishing up the last minute shaders to get our particle systems working, and I think we'll be done with our game within 72 hours. It's been a long process. So after about 10 minutes of endlessly jumping into spikes, I was finally able to complete level 8 of our game. And this is how I did it. If you're interested in playing the game for yourself, you can check it out on my itch.io page. A link for that will be in the description down below. Also, if you're interested in learning how to make games in Unity, then I've got a playlist on my YouTube channel that's the perfect place to start. It'll go through all of the fundamentals to create your own game. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.